What's going on, Jake? It's just the obvious moments you feel like to be back out here and get to run around.
It's great. I mean, having spring ball early this year is awesome because there's not that mental break that you necessarily have as much when we have it later on. So everyone's kind of getting to pick up right where they left off. Huge emphasis on the young guys developing more this year, and also just on more on everybody to mentally know what's going on and to get technically better, because it's our third year with the same system. So it's great to be back out here, especially this soon. Everyone's really excited to get better.
You had a great young class come in last year with the offensive line. What kind of growth have you seen in a year from those guys?
Those guys, I mean, keep getting better. You can see it with Will keeps getting better. He has game experience now, which is the most valuable thing, especially when playing offensive line and getting more mentally in tune with what's going on. So you can see the difference in what he's doing. Matt Sidrick did a great job over break. I think he put on a little bit of weight, and he's also just been, studying everything really well, and just getting better at what he needs to get better at. Same with those other three guys. I mean, they have to step up this year. There's spots open. Some of them are going to have to play. Some of them are going to be traveling with us on the road. So it's all about just seizing the opportunity for those guys and really using these 15 practices to get better.
You guys have shuffled a lot on the offensive line just in spring, as Coach Craig would like to experiment. Do you expect to see some of that? You potentially try and have left tackle or something like that?
I personally want to play more left tackle than right this spring, not necessarily to transition in the fall, but more versatility. Pretty much the 3 years I've been here, I've been like a right tackle specialist, and I mean, it'd just be nice to get a little bit more versatility in there. And in high school I played left tackle for a year, so Redwood High School, there we go. So for me personally, I just want to get better at it, and also because people always say well, isn't it the same thing? But it's like using your right hand versus using your left hand, so something I want to personally improve on a lot.
What were your plans
today? In a lot of the individual stuff, I was working left footwork, but I was only in for one of those team periods, and I was playing the right side when I was in the team period. But as spring goes on, I know Coach Wood's going to shuffle everybody around and make people uncomfortable so that you get comfortable at different spots.
When we talked to Coach right before spring started, he said, I wanted to kind of find an identity for the offense, a couple of things that you can rely on. What would you like that to become for this group?
For the offensive group in general, I know no one was really satisfied with last year's season, so all the groups individually are really working on themselves and really getting better this spring and this off season. I know for the offensive line, and each position group is doing this, but every position group kind of is setting goals for themselves. In the offensive line group, we have some overarching goals, which are based more in toughness and intensity and physicality and just being more violent, finishing plays, that kind of stuff. Then we also have a chart up on our whiteboard in our meeting room, and every single day someone's writing one goal technically for run and pass that they want to get better on. So it's a lot more goal setting this year amongst the whole offensive group, but that's just what we're doing within the offensive line room, because every day if you pick one thing to get better on by the end of 15 practices, you'll be a whole lot better player.
You talked about not being satisfied offensively. Do you guys look at last season and still use that, or is that kind of in the rear view? We're not going to.
It happened. I mean, it happened, and you can't pretend it didn't happen. So I mean, there's definitely some fire to be better there, and especially we all watched the defense do a great job last year, and it's more like you feel kind of you feel for those guys, because they were amazing the whole season. Probably one of the top defenses in the country, I think, statistically in a ton of categories, and we know that it's on us because a lot of those guys are back. We know as an offense that it's our turn to step it up, and if we can do that, we're really going to start winning a lot of games. So you can't pretend it didn't happen, that's for sure.
Sounds like you feel a certain amount of responsibility for the offense to sort of play up to the level the defense did.
Yeah, just to improve ourselves. And I know those guys on the defense too. I'm sure they're not even satisfied with the great season they had last year. It's like we just want to always have that drive to keep going and keep being better at everything that we can do. So we're, as an offense, I mean, like I said, each position group has goals, each guy's got goals, and everyone's working at those goals. And if we can all get a little bit better at something every day, by the end of it, we'll be a better group and be able to take some more pressure off them.
How important is it to establish somebody at center? Addison, of course, was a big leader there last year. And how's that working?
So for, obviously Mike Safel played some center. I think he's gotten some game reps there, but throughout practice, throughout the season and stuff, every now and then he would take some center reps, just always be ready. He's not participating right now. So Matt Cindric's getting a lot of those reps, and some of the other young guys are getting better at it. The thing about just playing offensive line in general is the more you play it, like I was saying earlier, the more game reps you get, the better from any position, the better you get at seeing what's going on the other side of the ball and anticipating what's going to happen. So for the older guys that might have a chance to snap the ball and maybe be the center this year, they've got a lot of game reps. They know how to call what's going on and see what's happening. And I know Coach Wood's just going to try to get some of those younger guys more of those reps so they can get better at recognizing the defensive alignments and making the right calls. But we all help each other out. Like I'm making calls, both the tackles are making calls. If the guards see something, they'll make calls. So it's not all on the center. It's just from every position, you got to be able to see what's going on. And we all work together to figure out what the defense is doing.
Here's the important question on chocolate chip cookie.
I would love one.
Good stuff. Thanks, Jake.
Yeah, thank you guys.